Welcome to the Eye on Annapolis Local Business Spotlight. There are thousands of locally owned businesses in the area, some small and some large. Some you may know and others you don't. But one thing they all have in common is a great story, and we want to share it with you. Join us every Saturday as we talk to the founders, the owners, and the managers of local businesses you have come to know and love, and those you will come to know and love. Now here's your host, John Frenay, with this week's Local Business Spotlight.
Well, I've never been in the back end of Naval Bagels, but here I am. And usually, actually, I kind of probably prefer the front end because it's so delicious. But we're here with Sean Adams, who is the founder and the, I guess, are you co-owner with your wife?
Yeah, my wife's the president. So
Okay.
I answer to her.
Now that we've got that out of the way, and
Yeah, my wife Tara is the president. I'm vice president, but I'm the counter candy.
okay, so are you considered a minority-owned business then?
We are.
Fantastic.
Been 25 years next February.
You know,
Well, next month will be our 25th.
and I did notice that on your website, man. And congratulations. I mean, most businesses can't make it 5, and you've been here 25 years.
Unbelievably fortunate, to build the team that we built back then, and a lot of them are still with us on the team, and it couldn't be done without that. In our 25th anniversary, Saturday, February 22nd, we're going to be donating a percentage of our daily sales to the Hospice of the Chesapeake. We'll have big raffles. I'm leaning on a lot of restaurant friends here in town with gift certificates, and you'll be able to win something. If not, just come by, say hello, and we'd like to thank everybody for their coming in to see us for 25 years. It's wonderful.
You know, I will say that you are a model business in Annapolis. And I'm sure you've got a zillion ex-employees because you hire a lot of, I don't want to call them kids, but a lot of these younger adults that come through here, and you're teaching them valuable skills as they move on. And I mean, then they go off to college and in their careers and everything else. But you are one of the model businesses that people look up to, and nobody craps on you. They all say it's a great place to work. I mean, it's certainly busy at many times.
Yes. We're so fortunate to be able to pick and choose from these high school kids where it is their first job. I'm not looking at their resumes, whether they babysit or delivered the paper or anything like that. We want them to teach them values of customer service and treating a customer like you want to be treated as you move forward in life, because this is the foundation for them. And I see them come back after high school or after college, or if they attend a Naval Academy, and it makes us so proud when they come back and say, remember, this was my first job and you taught me this and this and this. So whatever I could get out of them, it gets harder and harder each year to teach those core values, because these kids have so many different things to do, and
Everything's changing, and it's important, man. I'm starting to sound like a really old guy, but I mean, that's important. Please and thank you, holding the doors open. That's
it's the little things in life, and I try to, each time they're standing around, I say, if you have time to lean, you have time to clean. Our customers like to see us moving, so we try to keep moving and keep the customers happy.
Well, 25 years though, Sean, how did this all start?
Well, I have a culinary background. I'm a graduate of California Culinary Academy in San Francisco, California. And out of college, I was placed with a hotel chain, and they gave us a choice of cities to go to. We decided to come back to Annapolis. When I say we, my wife and myself, she is from here. She has roots here. She's one of 12. All the kids are here. All the cousins are here. We had a chance to come here and run a hotel chain, the Wyndham Hotel, and did that corporate thing. It was okay. I learned a lot, but in order to get an answer, it was hard to get an answer one-on-one. So had some friends, went to work at Adams Ribs in Eastport, managed that catering kitchen during the day and at night for 3 years, and the bagel business kind of fell in our lap. There was a bagel shop for sale. This was it. I told my wife, why not? Let's jump in. I knew a little bit about it. Background-wise, growing up in Southern California, I ate a lot of bagels. My wife went to school in New York City, so we have family up in the city. We learned to hand roll bagels with them after we purchased the store. Came up with my own recipe. renamed it with the help of my brother-in-law who owns an advertising agency in California. My brother, I'm sorry. And Naval Bagels was born.
There you go. Well, the website is navalbagels.com, and that's Naval. Not for all the people that misspell it with an E or N. It has nothing to do with belly buttons and umbilical cords. Everything to do with what I consider probably the best bagel this side of New York, and I'd put it up against some of the ones I've had in New York, which is sort of like the epicenter, I think, of bagel-dom in the United States.
I would agree with that.
What's the secret to have a good bagel?
I believe it's love. I mean, there's not that many ingredients in a bagel. We know exactly what it is, and with the love and the time and the effort and the ingredients that we put in ours and the time and effort that we take to make each one, we believe it's all that in one. Like, I'd like to say it's the water, or I'd like to say it's this or that. I believe it's the love. It really is.
It's funny, I know that you said that, again, on your website, navalbagels.com, it does say that you do it, I guess, a traditional way of boiling.
Correct.
As opposed to just baking.
Correct. There's a couple different ways to go about baking a bagel. We do it, like you said, the traditional way, which is how the Polish did it when they came to America back in 1920. It's actually boiled first and then baked. When it's put it in the boiling water in the kettle, activates the yeast, and that yeast says, okay, time to work, let's go. And that's the first part of the process of baking a bagel, even though it's still in the water. And when the bagel floats to the top, it's kind of like a French fry. Yank it out, and then it's part two of being fired in a 550-degree oven. We bake them upside down first on aluminum rectangle slabs and it rotates in an oven like a Ferris wheel oven. Couple rotations, we flip them off so now they're face up, and then a couple more rotations, and then we pull them out, and that water creates that nice sheen and that outside sheen when we throw it in a big hot oven that creates that crust where it locks down everything on the inside, where the inside still cooks a little bit.
It is. I mean, it's because they're always so good. They're so airy. They're not I mean, you know, you can buy like the 6-pack of bagels and the giant. And
it could.
And you get the, the hacksaw out to get the big old dense brick of dough.
Which is what it is. Or you don't see us, so.
And I highly recommend that. I mean, it's funny. I was reading a story up on bagels, and you mentioned it was when the Polish came over to America and brought it, but it all stemmed from anti-Semitism, and it was the Polish Jews that were not allowed to bake because they were Jews.
Right.
And so they said, well, we'll get around this.
We'll put them in water first, and then we'll bake them. And it's very smart. It's very smart.
And my grandfather was Jewish. I'm Irish Catholic, so I always joked that, I'm the Irish Catholic running the Jewish bakery. So maybe it was meant to be. That's in my blood.
There you go. Well, this is not the place to come if you're looking to quick run in and run out instantly, because you guys always have a line here. And for good reason.
Yes, as well.
What, how many bagels a day do you do? And I mean, I know you do fresh bagels, okay? I can probably buy a day-old bagel and...
You could, but like we put all our bagels to use one way or another, 3 or 4 different kinds of ways. But on an average, we have a par, Monday through Friday, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we ramp it up a little bit. I'd have to say we go through a couple thousand, just on a regular day. Obviously, this time of year, people are pulling back and they might be on New Year's diets, and we pull back a little bit, but we have a par, and I'd say between my 3 stores, at least 3,000 to 4,000 a day. I'd like it to be triple that.
Sure.
But each day's a little bit different, So,
well, now you talked about your 3 stores. Okay, you've got one in Arnold Station, which is right on Ridgey Highway. It's like 14, maybe 60 or 50, one of the two. There's 2 buildings there.
Yeah.
But right there at Arnold Road and Route 2.
Correct.
And you've just opened up a new one in Edgewater.
We did.
and that's in the little, really tiny little strip center, sort of across from like near the auto parts place.
Correct. It's a wonderful spot. We've had our eye on it for a little bit, and timing was right. I have a buddy down there running it. He has bagel in his blood now, and it's real quick in and out. The parfum's great. It's exactly built like my Arnold shop is. It's, if you'd like to think of it as a outlet, or we do all the production here and then we ship it to both my other shops. So there is no oven on the premises.
That was what I was going to ask. So I mean, this is the heartbeat of Naval Bagels, right?
Here's the heartbeat. This is the mothership. Everything comes out of here. So, very shortly tonight, early evenings, we start for the next morning, and we're baking bagels all night in order to get them out the door
So
about 4:30.
You're not open, but you are pretty much a 24/7 kind of an operation.
At this point of our bagel career, we are. Yeah,
Wow.
it's wonderful. It's
Wow.
wonderful. So,
What's your most popular bagel?
our most popular bagel is plain bagel, believe it or not.
Okay.
2-to-1 over everything bagel would be next. Sesame's a close third, along with either cinnamon raisin or blueberry.
See, now I'm more of a purist. I give me plain sesame, poppy, every now and then and everything. But when you get into the sweets and stuff like that, I sort of tune out on that.
Right, right.
It's like everybody's got their own.
Everybody does. I've never questioned anybody's order in the past 25 years. It could be sweet with hot turkey on it. It could be grape jelly on it. Everything. It's A to Z. So it all works.
What's your favorite?
At the moment, it would probably be a pumpernickel everything bagel, which we decided to marry our pumpernickel and our everything seeds. It's kind of fun just to tweak and play around with bagels, whether it's on the inside of the dough or the outside of the dough. And that happens to be one of my favorites. It's gained a lot of momentum last year or so, and I'd probably put that at the top of my list.
There you go. And then, of course, you got the green bagels on St. Patrick's Day.
We do. We are already...
there are so many kids in town that, ever since O'Leary started doing that parade, and you guys showed up with the bagels on the sticks running around.
Yes.
I mean, that is like, I hear it all the time. Are the bagels going to be here? Are the bagels going to be here? Yes, they are.
Yes, they are. We're already 6 weeks into planning how many, how it's going to get done, how much manpower we're going to need, but it's on our list. It's one of our favorite days of the year. Absolutely.
Well, my gosh, you get to dress up as green men and run down on West Street and a bagel to everybody.
Yeah, it could be worse. It could be a lot worse. So I almost want to have everybody get one, but it's almost impossible considering how big the parade's gotten, and I don't want to disappoint anybody. So
we always try to save a stash or two for the bottom of
Main Street. They get
we got to make sure everybody gets taken care of.
All right, well, so you heard it here. I said for ultimate bagel acquisition during the St. Patrick's Day parade, go a little bit closer up on West Street. There's a little more inventory.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we even get on the main West Street from Amos Garrett, you'll never go without one there.
I'm a fan. I've never eaten lunch here, but I do my breakfast. That's sort of my go-to. And for me, it's the Northerner. Real sort of basic on a sesame seed bun, but a sesame seed bagel.
Yeah.
And I was looking at your website again, navalbagels.com, and I saw it was like $6.79 or something or other, whatever for the place is. And just for shits and giggles, and I have no problem shitting on McDonald's here for this. So I went to their website or to their menu.
Yeah.
And the McDonald's bacon, egg, and cheese bagel with the hard hockey puck bagel that they put on there is 20 cents more.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're talking 20 cents. In the grand scheme of things, 20 cents is not much. But what you get is the flavor. You get the customer service. You're supporting a small, locally owned business. And, that's worth a hell of a lot more than 20 cents to me.
Absolutely. That's always been my credo. We consider ourselves quick, good, and fast, and affordable.
Yeah.
Like, if you get those things, give me 5 minutes, give me 7 minutes of your day, and I'll take care of you. And like you said, it's the love at the counter. It's, hey, how's the kids? Hey, saw you at church. What's happening? that camaraderie and that one-on-one stuff, you're not going to get at McDonald's, you know.
No.
So
No, not at all. I know my daughter loved coming here when she lived here. She's up in Manhattan now, but she used to love coming here just for the trivia. On board.
Yes.
The weather, the trivia.
like I said, all those little things we consider ourselves set us apart from everybody else in town. You know, when people talk about it, I run into people back home in California or wherever I might be. Hey, we miss Naval Bagels so much. We love reading what the weather's going to be like, what the tides are, and that joke was terrible or that joke was great, you know. So why not?
It's a family. It's a definition of a locally owned business that we all should support there. What's your biggest breakfast sandwich or breakfast bagel?
Biggest seller would probably be our bacon, egg, and cheese, which is
Okay, that's the basic.
it's the most basic, but like I mentioned before with the bagels, it's fun to play around with different kind of sandwiches. So over the past 25 years, we've introduced new sandwiches, and they've gained a lot of popularity. The steak, egg, and cheese with the avocado and the pico de gallo, the chorizo and grilled onions. There's a couple different ways to go, which is nice, and you could tweak anything you want. You could get double bacon, get double cheese. So we try to hit all the marks.
Oh, yeah. What about lunch?
Lunch, I'm an old fashioned. I like the hot pastrami Swiss, a little deli mustard and fresh sliced onion.
Is that your biggest seller?
No, it's not my biggest seller, but my biggest seller would be the avocado delight, which is our smoked turkey, avocado bacon. Myself personally, I like the hot pastrami and Swiss, but avocado delight is far and away our biggest seller.
Right.
The most one of the healthier ones also. So
True.
It's wonderful.
True. Do you guys do catering?
We do catering.
Okay.
We do absolute. We're affiliated with a couple different places here in town, one being the United States Naval Academy, and we do a lot with them. The Alumni Center we're affiliated with. Game days, we take care of the teams, the Naval Academy team, opposing teams, the refs, the coaches.
Don't take care of the opposing teams too well. We're on a roll right now.
So yes, we're easy. Whoever wants catering, we'll do it. We'll
Okay,
do
so
it.
that's pretty much your full menu is available.
Absolutely.
Catering, and it's not just like, okay, here's your 300 bagels.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. We do that. We have plenty of wholesale customers, so we take care of a lot of people daily, whether they're walking in or we're delivering to them. Yeah.
How did you get here from? Well, you said you moved back here with your wife from.
Correct.
So, are you originally from San Francisco?
Originally from Los Angeles, born and raised in Los Angeles, where our hearts are with them. I'm putting more bagels in the mail to my family out there to deal with what they're dealing with. But moved here from San Francisco after culinary school graduation, got affiliated with a nationwide hotel chain, and we decided my wife wanted to come back home, and here we are. Well, June 20.
Do you consider yourself a West Coast guy or an East Coast guy now?
Roots are still out west, but I consider myself an East Coast guy. I mean, I get to always go home. All my family, all my friends are still out there, but I consider myself East Coast. You know, with 3 businesses, and yeah, you know, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. I know.
I moved down here in '96, and I remember, I can't remember when it was, but it was probably like in the early 2000s. Someone said, "Oh, where are you from?" And somebody overheard me say Annapolis, and the guy says, "Wait a minute, you just moved here in '96. You can't say that until you've been here at least 15 years." I was like, okay, so I waited I did my 15 years time, and now I can sit there and say that, but it was kind of funny. But, okay, so Sean, you're slinging bagels right now. I don't know if that's the right word. I'm slinging or bacon or dunking or consider it slinging. What if this didn't work out? What would you be doing?
If this didn't work out from the get-go, I would have stayed in the food industry somehow, somewhere. Like it's in my blood. I love taking care of people, and whether it would have been before the bagel business, I owned a catering company who we took care of a lot of the local unions, electrician unions, HVAC unions. I could still be doing that or running some other kind of restaurant, but I wouldn't change this for the world.
Definitely in the service industry, though.
Correct. Yes, absolutely.
You really mapped out and strategically planned your growth from here to Arnold to Edgewater. Is there a future Naval Bagels someplace else? Are we looking at franchising, or?
We always have our antennas out because we know exactly what works at this point of our career. And we're always looking. We got a couple little spots we're looking at. It's all about traffic.
Sure.
It's all about parking. It's all about convenience. So, you know, we built our first house on the Eastern Shore. I've always heard, hey, when are you coming to the shore? I still have a lot of people over there. And I always say, okay, we'll come over if you're going to run it, if you're going to be running, you know. So it's not as easy as you think it is, but I would absolutely love to grow. I always have said that we can go anywhere in the world. If we need 1,000 square feet, I have the blueprint, I have the recipe books. We just need the manpower. We just need the love. So
You need the love, the manpower, the equipment, and the customers. So, yeah. And I imagine the further you get away, I mean, you talked about the Eastern Shore. I mean, if you went down to Easton or something like that, I mean, I think that might prove to be a little bit problematic as far as delivering a pressed bagel from Annapolis down.
Correct. They would have to have, obviously,
A production
oven on site,
Right.
you know, which isn't too hard to do. It's just a matter of, you know, monetary funds and people who want to do it. So, you know, we've done research into with Naval Academy grads who have been in 20, 25 years who are looking for something to do when they're 45 or 50 years old. And we've always said, hey, we go anywhere in the world because you've been there, you know us. You know, we get people coming back to town after being on tour or they're retired. Hey, God, we could really use you here or there, you know, so.
You know, I love people that are in happy businesses. I mean, there are stressful days. I am 100% sure. I mean, you don't even need to tell me that. And I mean, you probably go home and wonder, like, at times, like, oh my gosh, I need to put Thanksgiving dinner on 50 people's tables.
Yeah.
This, you know, and that really is super, super stressful for a small business owner.
Yeah.
But you have a very happy business. I mean, people don't come in here miserable.
No, we're fortunate. We are so fortunate, whether it's my employees or my customers, everyone. You're not coming here to, you know, complain.
No.
We'll talk you right off that ledge immediately. By the time you walk out, you'll be good. You know, I'm very fortunate with my work crew, as you can see around you. You know, they're all happy to work. Like, you're coming to me to work, I'm going to give you work.
Yeah.
It's going to be year-round work. I don't want you to bitch and complain. Here's what we got going on. Here's what we built over the last 25 years. We're never going to slow down. We're only going to get bigger and better. So if you're with us, jump on board. I could teach what I'm teaching them. This is why they come to us. You know, how do you make a bagel? What's the recipe? Yeah, do I want to stand in front of a 600-degree oven for 8 hours each night baking bagels? But I've taught them that love. Yeah, and it's, you know,
It's there.
yeah, it transcends right to the counter.
Well, and again, I mean, your love doesn't exist within just this 5,000 square feet or whatever the heck, you know, whatever it is over here next to Growls. I mean, it extends out into the community too. I mean, you are, okay, obviously you're giving away the free bagels during the St. Patrick's Day parade, but I mean, you are always out there helping out in different organizations, the different teams. I mean, you, more so than many other businesses in town, have really sort of messed with the art of giving back.
Right.
Without giving it away.
Right. No, it's one of those fine line things where it's like, well, do I want to make a buck or do I want to make people happy? And, you know, we try to do both. You know, whether I charge somebody 90% off, I'll absolutely take care of your classroom or your 5K or the golf tournament or whatever it might be, you know, and we're coming up on our 25th anniversary. We're going to donate a percentage of our sales that day to the hospice of the Chesapeake. And, you know, we love to give back. Like, when it's all said and done, we want to be known as that company that never said no. I could wallpaper my whole bagel shop here with all the thank you notes that I've gotten over the last 25 years, and I consider that the feather in the cap.
You know, it's so funny when you just mentioned that. And this morning, last weekend, I guess we released a podcast with the local thing of Dolly Parton's Imagination Library, which basically sends books to kids every single month from birth to age 4 for free. Get them involved in reading and up to speed and all that kind of stuff. And the local woman that runs it sent me an email just saying, you know, thank you so much for this. Somebody heard your podcast, and their church now is financially supporting us, which we were struggling to do. And we're now able to provide these books to more than 1,200 new children. When you get that type of feedback from the community, you want to give back. And I mean, the community helped build you to where you are, and it makes sense.
There's only so much how much more could I give? I love it so much to get that. You know, everybody's saying, gosh, thank you so much. That's all I need.
Yeah. Well, question for you. You are in the culinary world, okay? And when you went to culinary school, you could have gone any number of different directions. So, and I imagine you're a bit of a foodie yourself. Would you?
I am. Yes, very much so.
Here in Annapolis or in the general Anne Arundel County area, what excites you? What restaurants are exciting you? I don't know, say what your favorite is, because then it gets all weird.
Anything that's kind of edgy that tries to push the boundaries a little bit, I'm always excited about, and that doesn't have to be an everyday thing. Could be a special of the day, but I love my Mexican food. I was born and bred living it and eating it, and sometimes I like to search out little holes in the wall. Those tend to be like some of the best ones, and just trying something new, whether it's a new spice or a new sauce or and then I'm just as easy sit down with my wife to an Italian, some pasta, you know, so I'm wide open to anything.
That's wonderful. Yes, that's fair. Just be a little bit different, trying something new. Well, I'm excited. Annapolis has really gone full circle. You've been here long enough to know this. I mean, Northwoods was here, and I mean, Northwoods was like the gold star of Annapolis. And then we went through this, what I would call, and some people will argue, I mean, but this dearth of restaurants and places to go. Everything was good. I say everything. You know, most things are good. But there was nothing, and I mean, you can take the star ratings and everything else, but my bellwether is, if I lived in D.C., Northern Virginia, or Baltimore, where would I go, where would I travel down to Annapolis to eat and then go home? Not to go to Ram's Head, not to go walking on there, you know, see the water or take a cruise or anything like that. What will make me drive a half hour, 45 minutes to eat and leave? Because there's plenty of them in Baltimore and D.C. and Northern Virginia. And there were very few. And then it started. I mean, I would say I think Bin 909 probably sort of started it up a little bit. And I mean, now we've got just some wonderful restaurants that are here, and it's actually expanding out into the county, and I'm really excited about that.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, more people want to get in the business, it seems like. I'd like to see more stay open a little bit longer than they might have wanted to, but that everybody learns a lesson at some point. But there is a wide variety. Each day, it seems like there's something new. Each week, there's another restaurant with a different, you know, menu and a different.
There's a new RM's on West Street. Yay!
Yes.
I did see that. Hey, whatever floats your boat. You're like, if it's convenient and the price point is right, you know.
Yeah, no, I saw. There's no love lost between fast food for me. I mean, I do appreciate the work and the effort that goes into it. I mean, I know there's an awful lot that goes into planning restaurants and stuff, and certainly we're learning here is that there's an awful lot more that goes into planning. Just, you know, that bagel sandwich that you get wrapped up and tossed in the brown paper bag, and
no doubt. There's a lot of people involved in before that bagel hits the basket. There really is, and it's the time and effort, and we got it down. We figured it out, and we perfected the recipe, and we perfected the personal service, and I can't be any happier.
Well, I want to thank you for that. I do encourage everybody that's listening, if you are in Edgewater, Arnold, or certainly Annapolis. In Annapolis, we're right next to Growls Market, right on Taylor Avenue. Edgewater is right on Route 2, and Arnold's right on Route 2.
Right.
But it just sort of bookends the place.
Yeah.
If you never tried it, try it, whether it's for breakfast or lunch. Then you guys are open until, like, what?
6 to 2 each day.
Okay.
6 to 2 each day.
So you get the lunch crowd out and mellow out there.
Yes.
And look for Naval Bagels around the community, because you don't have to look too far because they're always there. If you have a catering need for maybe it's a breakfast thing, or maybe you just want to do a bagel party, that wouldn't be a bad deal with a lunch thing. They can handle that. NavalBagels.com. And Sean Adams, I want to thank you so much for your time. More importantly, I want to thank you for your 25 years of slinging bagels, I guess, here in Annapolis.
It's wonderful. I wouldn't want to be doing anything else.
Awesome.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to this week's Local Business Spotlight. Please make sure to visit eyeonannapolis.net for all your local news, events, and opinion. And in case you haven't already, please subscribe to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, where we bring you all the day's local news direct to your phone, tablet, or computer in about 10 minutes. It comes to you at 6 a.m. every Monday through Friday, and you can subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.